Good morning, Brookfield Zoo fans. We're here at a very special edition of Bringing the Zoo to You. My name is Tim Sullivan. I'm the Curator of Behavioral Husbandry here at Brookfield Zoo, and that means I manage the zoo's animal training programs and our environmental enrichment programs. But it's my special honor today to kind of host this special edition, which is like a viewer's choice. We put out a chance for you guys to pick animals, and we said let's follow it around. You're going to follow me around to several different habitats today. We're going to talk about the animals, see them, answer some questions that you might have. And the number one vote getter we had today, for where we're starting, of course, is the red panda. So we're here at Wild Encounters, and I'd love to show you our 3-year-old male, Leo. So come on with me. So this is one of the favorite animals at Brookfield Zoo, and if you haven't seen a red panda before, you're going to know why it's the favorite, because they're just so darn cute. And there he is, Leo. What a fantastic little animal. As I mentioned, he's a 3-year-old red panda. These animals are, very special because they're arboreal. And if you look really closely, you can see his wonderful claws that he has there. Those are designed for him to have good traction up in the trees. They live in the Himalayas in southwestern China, and the thing is, they live really high up. They start out at altitudes of about 7,000 feet and can go up to 15,000 feet. And when they're up there, they eat a very specialized diet, which is bamboo, and I can see Leo has some now. We bring in live bamboo here, some we grow and some we bring in, but that's their main diet source. They eat other things like birds and insects when the opportunity presents itself, but the bamboo is what they really need. And in fact, the curvature in their claws is meant to help them grab that bamboo and bring it to their mouth to eat. Now, he's doing a great job just showing you how cute he is. They are an animal that's about the size of a big domestic cat. They look kind of like a raccoon, and they have bear in their name, but that's really a misnomer because this animal is not a cat, it's not a raccoon, and it's not even related to the bear family. It's its own species that makes it really unique. And so we really appreciate having Leo here with us. They're really specialized animals. I mentioned what they eat, where they live, and of course, they are a species that we really highlight because they're highly endangered. Unfortunately, these animals are decreasing in numbers because of habitat loss, habitat fragmentation, and unfortunately poaching. So we want to make sure that people can come here to Brookfield Zoo and appreciate the beauty and majesty of this particular animal and help us care for them out in the wild as well. So Leo, thank you so much for spending time with us this morning, and I think it's time to move on for our next animal. And which one is that, Lynette?
We're going to head over to the big catwalk and see the lions and the tigers and the sloth bear.
Fantastic, let's go. I've got a cart. It'll make it easier for us to get out there today, and hopefully on our way between habitats, I'll give you a chance to get some facts about the zoo and maybe answer some questions if you have it online, and do the best I can. So we've got our electric cart here, and let's make our way out. So we're in, as I mentioned, Wild Encounters, which is a really great place for all members of the family, but it's really designed for our kids. As you pass by the bird aviary, you can imagine going in there and seeing 700 to 800 budgies that you have the opportunity to feed. So it's a really great experience to come to. And of course, we've got our goats, which are just number one with the kids. You can go inside and interact with them, brush them, learn how to take care of them. We even have feeding opportunities throughout the year. So this is a great way to see these wonderful animals and come in close contact. We've learned that the more intimate we can make these experiences with animals, the more caring and that we have for them. So we're making our way towards the east end of the zoo now, going by our restaurants. This one is BZ Red Hots, which you might be familiar with. But what you can really see is what I love best about the zoo in this season. Spring brings all these wonderful buds on our trees. The leaves start to come out and the zoo just comes alive. We have 216 acres, 186 of them we care for with our wonderful grounds department. And what you may not know is that Brookfield Zoo is actually an accredited arboretum. We have over 100 species of trees here at the zoo. And if you go to our website at czs.org or brookfieldzoo.org, we have a map and a guide that can help you explore all the trees and locations of where you can find each and every one. So here we are. This is their second choice of the day, which is our big cat walk. As we head west this way, our first habitat that we pass by is our snow leopard habitat, and it's looking very beautiful today. Snow leopards are wonderful animals that live in the mountains of Central Asia, in the dry, cold areas. I don't know if we're going to get a look, because the one thing about snow leopards is they can hide really, really well. But we have two snow leopards. It's Malaya, who's a 5-year-old female, and Buck, who is 7. So maybe sometime later on we'll get a chance to get a look at them. As we move west, we're going on into our Amur tiger exhibit. Oh, where are you, Whirl? It's going to be one of those days. This is I think it's the fun part of the zoo. When you go on safari in different areas, oh, there she is. Hi, Whirl. She's down in the corner. There, can you take a look at her, Lynette? We'll take a quick look because she's such a beautiful girl. Whirl is 13 years old, and she has a special birthday coming up here on May 25th. So keep in touch with her. I'm sure we'll have a celebration we might be able to share with you virtually. Whirl is a Amur tiger, and these animals are the largest member of the cat family. They can get up to about 600 pounds. They live in the northern regions of Russia and China, up there where it's really cold in the Amur River Valley. They're extremely effective predators up there. They hunt large hoofstock that live around the riverine area, and just incredibly beautiful creatures. So thank you, Whirl, for giving us a chance. She's enjoying a nice little sunning today. It's a beautiful day at Brookfield Zoo, and we're really missing you guys, because this would be a day we'd have a lot of visitors. But you can know that during this time, the caretakers at the zoo, whether it's the animal care specialists that you meet every day at 11 o'clock, and all the other facilities and service programs here, are doing a great job taking care of the animals, because the job never stops for them. Our next habitat is our sloth habitat, and I'm hoping that we might get a look at our 17-year-old female Hani. Hani, where are you? Kind of hiding in the back there? She might be behind that tumble of logs. Sloth bears are really incredible creatures. They live in a variety of forests, from really dry forest to wet forest in Sri Lanka and southern Nepal. And the thing about the sloth bears that's really interesting, they're big animals, but they eat just termites and ants, and they're specially designed for getting those ants and termites. A little farther east, and of course we did bring a zoo to you on these two beautiful boys. This is our African lions, Brutus and Titus. They're brothers. Oh, hello there. And unfortunately I can't tell which one is which yet. They're so new to the zoo that I'm still learning how to tell them apart.
Brutus is the one in front, I believe.
Oh yeah, okay, so that's Brutus in front, and his brother's in back, and you can see, just like Whirl, they're taking advantage of this beautiful sunny day we have here at Brookfield Zoo. African lions are, of course, from Africa, and mostly this particular animal is in sub-Saharan Africa. They are one of the #1 predators there. They live in giant prides, and they do a lot of their hunting in early morning and late at night. They're more crepuscular, and of course, as you know, it gets pretty hot in Africa, so these animals spend a lot of their day just resting, getting ready for the hunt later on in the night, because most of hunting is just kind of looking for food, and their success rate, it can be spotty depending on how skilled the pride is and how well they work together. But when they're during the daytime, they find a great place to get some sun, or if it gets really hot, they go and find some shade. They're just a fantastic animal, and we really want to have the opportunity to open the zoo as soon as possible, so you can come and see these two beautiful boys. All right, Lynette, that finishes our walk here on Big Cat Area. What are we going to next?
A bunch of people wanted to see the dolphins, but we're doing a dolphin chat tomorrow. So we're going to move on to the giraffes.
The giraffes, okay. All right, so I have to learn my path here. I think we're going to head to the north this time, coming around and give you a chance to see our beautiful pavilions here. So yeah, while we're here, we should sell this wonderful artwork again.
I wanted to let everybody see that we've been posting all the artwork that we get.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. This makes our job so much fun, is this connection that our guests have with our animals and the beautiful artistic talents we have here. It looks like we have a number of different age groups participating, and some really beautiful stuff and some more abstract drawings. But thank you so much. It makes us feel great when you send us stuff like that. All right, there's our pavilions where we held some wonderful events, catered events, or weddings even happen there. And of course, we're here at the western entrance of the Desert's Edge. And you can see the beautiful entry there and a full-size cutout of Amur tiger. It gives you a really good idea of their size. All right, onward a little bit farther north here. This is one of the favorite kind of pastimes when people come to the zoo is our carousel. And not as much fun, but they're still willing to go on there and have some fun up on the carousel.
1 second.
Yeah,
I just want to let everybody know, as we move around the zoo, we might be getting our Wi-Fi going in and out. So just hang with us, okay? We'll be back. We're not going to finish until we're completely done with everything.
All right, so I'm just going to do a quick flyby here of our butterfly exhibit. And we're hoping that we can get that open as soon as we get the okay to open up for the zoo. Give you a chance to see all the wonderful species of butterflies we have here. I just love walking through there. It's such a magical experience when either, first of all, I get to see all the different species of butterflies, but you have the case where sometimes they actually land on you. You can get a really good look at them as you're walking through. All right, heading westward. We're going to make our way towards the Giraffe, right? Is that where we're heading next?
Yep.
Okay, on to Giraffe. So this is one of the northern walkways that we have. The Australia building is here on your left-hand side. One of my favorite habitats. Maybe you saw the video yesterday of our emus zooming around, which was just a blast. I couldn't stop laughing. Lots of animals have that kind of just burst of energy that they want to run around, and it's kind of like your dog at home when they have their kind of running crazy, having a great time, just blowing off some energy. Oh, thank you. Got a little flyby there by our Canada geese. If you've been to the Brookfield Zoo, you know we have a resident population of, I want to say Przewalski, so that's how it's spelled. It's often mispronounced, but it is Przewalski's horse, and they're a warm, cold weather species, so they get this really thick coat they have, and great adaptation to cool weather. But here we are, we've got our zebras to our right, but our main goal is for you, because you wanted to see giraffe, and they're looking great right now. So we're going to take a cut in here. There, a beautiful giraffe. What do you think? Should I park over here, Lynette?
Yeah, that works.
Find a nice clean spot. It looks a little bushy. I'm going to come. No, this might be the best spot. Sorry. We're just figuring this out as we go along, people, so bear with us. I'm going to find the best view for you, and I think it was right here. How about we get out and chat about giraffe? All right, so what do we have here? We've got quite a few reticulated giraffe, and this is a subspecies of giraffe that is native to Somalia and Ethiopia, northern Kenya. And we have 4 giraffe with us. We have a toe, which is one of our younger males. He's 5 years old. And the other male here is Pataka. He is 7 years old. And of course we have 2 females that go along with them. We have Arnita, who is 13 years old, and our oldest giraffe, which is Jazuri, and she's 15 years old. As I mentioned, these guys are more northern and eastern African animals. They're, like most giraffe, they can achieve heights of about 17 feet, so they're really, really big animals. And that animal can get 2,000 to 4,000 pounds. You know, the males are a little bit larger. And most of that size that they have comes from their very long legs and their very long neck. And that design that they have, those adaptations, of course, help them to eat their favorite food, which are leaves. And they get those leaves out of really tall trees. They're able to reach up very high, and if they can't reach standing on all fours, you'll see a lot of giraffe in Africa learning to step up on their hind legs and get up as high as they can. So a lot of the trees in Africa have a great defense mechanism to keep their leaves, and they have these giant thorns, sometimes 2 to 3 inches long. But that won't stop a giraffe because they have a very good articulation with their tongue. It's very dexterous. It's about 17 to 18 inches long, so it's amazing. And what they do is they find the beautiful leaves that they're looking for, and then their tongues go out there and just wrap around the leaves and going in between all those sharp thorns, and then they pluck these leaves out. And so you can imagine an animal that weighs over 2,000 pounds, they have to eat a lot of leaves. So their territory is really large. So once they've eaten all the leaves on the lower branches, they'll move to another tree. And if all the trees have been taken care of, they'll move on to another set as they walk through their areas. So these animals are incredibly adapted for their life. But what's interesting, and a great fact that I learned, it was really surprising, is even though they have that really long neck, they have the same amount of neck bones or vertebrae that humans have. So it's just really, really big. And of course they need lots of strong and big muscles to keep that neck up there. And so even though they look way differently than we are, their anatomy is quite similar, just in a different shape and form, because they live in a place that requires them to have this type of height. It's the niche that they fill in the environment. So I love the giraffes. They're just amazing to watch. If you look at that beautiful reticulated pattern on them, it's kind of like our fingerprint. It's all a little bit different. And so if you're doing research out in the wild or here at Brookfield Zoo, you can start to notice kind of unique parts of the pattern that allows you to identify the animal. And so that's just one way to help us either communicate which animal is which to our guests, and a way for you to kind of go out there and try and figure out who's who as well. So I'm so glad we got this beautiful day out to see the giraffe. They're out there eating some hay right now. We don't have a lot of leaves for them to eat, but we do provide them with plenty of browse. That's one of the things they really, really like. Our browse program here at Brookfield Zoo is really amazing. Even though we're a northern zoo and most of our trees lose their leaves in the wintertime, we have a great partnership with Commonwealth Edison. As you may know, trees growing around power lines are a bad thing, so Commonwealth Edison has a tree trimming program to make sure their power service is kept in check. But the beautiful thing is we've learned that a lot of those species of trees that they're clipping are great browse for our giraffes and other animals here at Brookfield Zoo. So we work with Commonwealth Edison, and every week in the summertime when they do their trimming, they carefully select the species of trees and branches that are safe and delicious for our animals, and they bring them here to Brookfield Zoo. Our staff then go around and then hand them out to all of our browsing animals out there, either for a supplement to their food or just for enrichment. Messing around with browse, taking the bark off, playing with sticks and twigs are great opportunities for animals to utilize their wonderful adaptations and to kind of express all that great behavior that browsers have. So we're feeding some hay now, but as these trees are starting to leaf out, we expect to have more browse coming in. What you may not know is that our nutrition department also takes a lot of the browse that we collect and freezes it and keeps it available throughout the winter, so we can have a good supply through those cold winter months. All right, Lynette, is that enough for giraffes?
I think so.
What are we doing next?
We are going to go over to the pachyderm building.
Pachyderm, all right.
And while we're on our way over, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I think this is in your wheelhouse.
Good. Hi, giraffes. Sorry, we're going back here.
What do we do to help keep the animals from getting bored?
Well, that's a good thing, and we don't really look at it from keeping them bored, because they get a lot of interaction with the staff here, and they love watching our guests. But one thing we do is create a wonderful environmental enrichment program. And Brookfield Zoo is a leader in this service that we provide our animals. So what we look to do is we watch our animals. We know from their natural history what behaviors they should be doing out in the wild and here at Brookfield Zoo under professional care. And so we make sure that the behaviors that are important to their well-being are expressed here at Brookfield Zoo. So we develop environmental enrichment strategies, which basically is a big phrase that allows us to go ahead and modify their environments to draw the behavior out of the animals. So if we want to increase the amount of foraging the animals do, which is a big part of most animals' day, is finding food and eating it, we develop environmental enrichment devices or make modifications to the exhibit that allow them to find foraging opportunities. And one of the big tools that we use here at Brookfield Zoo are automatic feeders. Now we can put some of their diet and other fun tidbits on these automatic feeders that are spread out throughout their habitats, and throughout the day the food goes ahead and drops into the habitat. The animals have to search for it and forage like they would out in the wild. And so this is a great way to fill their time. They have to use their senses of smell and sight and hearing to listen for the food to drop into the habitat and go out and search for it. And once they find it, sometimes what drops in requires some work to get them to eat it and to get it into their bodies, so that gives them a chance to express even more behavior. So that's one of the big things we do here, but there are other things that we try and do with our environmental enrichment program, and we're very happy to have talented individuals. A shout out to Matthew Owens and Sarah Feliciano, who are my two enrichment techs that do such a fantastic job providing enrichment to our animals. All right, so here we are at the Pachyderm building. We're on the west side, and I think we're looking for Adele. And so let's look around for Adele. She might be around the corner here somewhere. If not, we'll have to look for her. Oh, I see another animal over there. It looks like a little groundhog is in her exhibit. Let's do a flip around here and see if she might be hiding around the corner. Oh, let's go up here. Sorry guys, this is all a hunt for us too. We're looking to make sure we can show you as many animals as we can through our little search here today. All right, Adele is going to be, that is definitely not a pygmy hippo. Of course, we're a 186 acre park, and so we do have lots of wildlife here that have learned to adapt to our and become partners with our animals here. So it looks like Adele might be inside today, so how about we move on to rhinoceros instead? Pygmy hippos are really, really cool. And the reason that pygmy means small, as you might know, and they're only a couple 100 pounds, where their relatives, the Nile hippo, are 10 times larger. They could be thousands of pounds. And so it's really important that we make that distinction. But pygmy hippos fill a really interesting notch in the environment. They spend their times in swamps and water areas. They're nocturnal animals that go out at night and eat grass and spend a lot of time in the water too. All right, well, look what we have here. I'm going to stop, find a nice place to look, because this is a beautiful male black rhinoceros. This is looks like King out there today. Black rhinoceros are really, really cool animals. They live in the east and southern parts of Africa, and they are browsers. Where the white rhino is a grazer eating grasses, the black rhino is a browser eating leaves off of bushes and trees. And they have a very special adaptation in their lip, which is kind of a very dexterous appendage on the front, on the upper part of their lip, that can reach out and grab, almost like a finger, can grab leaves off the tree, kind of like the giraffes can do with their long tongue. Pachyderm, as you may know, means thick-skinned. And like all pachyderms, he has really, really thick skin. On the shoulders and across the back and on the sides are really thick skin that helps protect them during combat with other rhinoceros. But what you may not know is they have really, really cool soft spots. Inside their legs, their armpits, their cheeks are really, really soft, and they're ticklish. We found that if you scratch in that area, and the rhinoceros can actually go to sleep. You'll have them kind of just go down, and like your dog loves to be pet, so do the rhinos. And so it's a great interaction that our animal care staff can have with these guys. It's all about building trust with our animals here at the zoo. The animal care specialists build that trust up through the years of experience and time they spend here with the animals, getting to know them. This allows us to do some really great training. As I mentioned, I manage the training program here, and our rhinoceros allow us to either do some work on their horns, to trim their horns if need be. We can take voluntary blood samples from these guys. We get weights on them. We have really big scales, and the rhinoceros are trained to walk up on that scale and be calm so we can get a weight. That way our nutritionists here at Brookfield Zoo can keep us in the right weight range and prescribe the right diet for them to eat. In addition to the browse that we mentioned, the rhinoceros gets a great diet of hay, and of course a complete biscuit that is used to get them all the wonderful nutrients that they need. So King, thank you so much. How about we look for your friends down a little bit farther east? We've got a couple more rhinos that we hope we get a chance to show you today. Back to our cart here. All right. We have a lot of geese out here today. They're doing a good job keeping our grass cut here a little bit. There are some areas that they really, really enjoy and don't have to get as much grass cutting here by our ground staff.
Or fertilizer.
Yeah, and a lot of fertilizer too. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but they eat a lot of grass and a lot of stuff comes out the other end. All right, let's go over here to our east yard.
Oh, there's Layla.
Oh, there's Layla.
She was hiding.
You're hiding on us, Layla. We can't forget about Layla. Layla is one of our favorite guys here. Let's see if we can, oh, here she's coming up to us. There you go.
I'm going to scoot out this way.
Her?
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah, do you want to talk about the flap on her?
Yeah, Layla has been under some medical care for a few months now. She developed a syndrome inside of her sinus, and so our veterinary staff has done an amazing job taking care of that. She's under constant medical care, but we've done a really good job of maintaining her health. She has a little bit of a patch on her nose where we've put in a little bit of a port so it allows her to breathe easier, and she's just been a fantastic animal. And this is just one of those great stories where the incredible veterinary care that we provide here and some real unique procedures that were done to help Layla live this wonderful, comfortable life, and she has just been a fantastic animal. Layla's been with us, she is about, I think she's 10 years old, and she's just a fantastic animal, showing us not her best side. She's there. She's looking through the rails. She might be looking at in our east yard where we have Nikki Lee, who is our kind of our old boy. He might be on the other side, so we can walk over and see if he's there. Nikki Lee, are you over here? There he is. That's what she was doing. Hi, Nikki Lee. There's our big boy. Nikki Lee is 30 years old, so he's been with us a really long time. I used to work with Nikki Lee a few years back, over 20 years ago. He was one of the first rhinos that I ever worked with, and he's just a fantastic animal. Now you can see how he's looking at us right now, and if you're ever out in Africa on a safari, that's what you're going to see mostly, because when we're out there in those safari cars, they want to make sure that we're safe, and so they're going to give us that side. And if you look really closely, you can see that Nikki Lee's ears are facing right at us because he's listening to me talk right now. Their ears, they have great hearing, and they're able to kind of turn those ears like turrets to listen. One ear can be listening forward, and you can see his right ear is turned back now. He might be listening to Layla on the other side. And so that's one of their main senses, because they don't have great eyesight, but they do have an incredible hearing and a great sense of smell, which helps them stay safe and, of course, interact with their environment to find the food they need and even find a mate during that season. Rhinos, even as big as they are, make the silliest little squeaky sounds that you never would think would come out of that animal that size. I wish we could had that on a cue that we could hear it, but it's what my favorite animal is, and I think they're all my favorites. The more I get a chance to work with each and every animal here at Brookfield Zoo, the more you realize their unique characteristics, their great personalities, and the niche that fits into the environment. Well, thank you very much, Nikki Lee, and we'll walk by Layla here before we move on. So where are we going to next?
We had some requests for Tropic World.
Tropic World, okay.
And we are doing a Tropic World Asia chat on Friday, I believe. So we are going to head over to Tropic World Africa.
All right, so we'll do a little bit of fantastic. And it's a pretty short trip, but while we're doing that, I should remind everyone that's watching about the zoo's animal adoption program, Sharing the Care, because that's a great way we can help support Brookfield Zoo in any year, but especially this year. You can help us to provide that special care that we do every day for our animals. Please go to czs.org or brookfieldzoo.org and look up our animal adoption or Sharing the Care program. There are so many different programs that you can go to and find a level that is appropriate for you. And anything you do to help us right now will be great. As we pass down here, we're heading again west. You can see Tropic World on our left-hand side here. It is an enormous building that was built, started in the late 1970s and opened up in the early 1980s, one section at a time. As you move east to west, you get to travel through 3 different continents. The first one being South America, and then Asia, and then finally Africa. At one time, Tropic World was the largest indoor zoo habitat. It no longer is, but it's still a fantastic place to come see our primates. And of course, we have bird species in here as well. So we're going to go through the exit. So this is something we don't recommend when you're here as a guest. It is a kind of a one-way exhibit. You enter in through the east and you come out through the west. But since the zoo's not open, we're not going to interfere with anybody. So we're just going to pop in the back side here. All right. So this is our first indoor experience. It's been great. We've had this great weather to go out and visit all of our friends outdoors. But right now, we're going to go into the dark here. Hopefully you can see. All right. Oh, I have to use my key, which is in the cart. Let's keep talking with that. I'll be right back.
Okay. we go. Okay, we're back.
All right, sorry guys, we lost our Wi-Fi connection. We went between two repeaters. Here we are back in Africa, and our wonderful lowland gorilla troop. Hello guys, good morning. You hear the waterfall in the background, hopefully you can hear me. We have 7 lowland gorillas here at Brookfield Zoo, and it's a beautiful family group. We have Jojo, our male, Kula and Kamba and their children. We've got Nora, and then we have Zachary, and our newest member, right down in the corner, is Allie, who is growing up quickly. Hi Allie, oh you're beautiful. So this is one of those things where we haven't had guests for a while, so us showing up has been pretty interesting. They're like, wow, something to watch now. Hi Allie. So lowland gorillas, again, are vegetarians, and so just kind of like that's been a theme a little bit today, is vegetarian animals that eat vegetation. Gorillas, of course, with their size, being anywhere from 200 to 400 pounds, of course, have to eat lots of vegetation. This animal lives in the western part of Africa in the lowlands. There's also a mountain gorilla, but these guys are lower down and live and travel through the vegetation there. Gorillas are fantastic apes. They are extremely intelligent. We do a lot of training here with these guys and a lot of enrichment. Allie's showing off now. She's been so independent from her mom and learning all sorts of new skills and climbing and really showing off her independence. Mom is giving her an opportunity to go out there and learn all these skills. Earlier on in life, she will spend almost all of her time riding on Mom, but now she's older and has all these great skills that she's demonstrating for us because she's gained Mom's trust and going out there and actually starting to eat her own food. While she's still nursing from Mom, she's starting to test different food types. And she'll sometimes take it from her other animals, sometimes they'll give it to her, and she's learning what she likes and how best to find that food. This is a really interesting habitat. We've got a great view of these animals. Like a lot of animals, they spend a lot of their time foraging. Here we have several different automated feeders that we use that can provide food into the habitat for the animals to find throughout the day. And we even have an automatic feeder up in the ceiling there. You may have looked on YouTube and seen a video of us, I think it was popcorn at the time. That was just a test, but we have parts of their diet, whether it's seeds or other types of even cereals that they like for an enrichment treat, that come down throughout the day that allows them to forage and creates all this wonderful social behavior. The interactions they have, the sharing, the kind of hoarding of food sometimes, which lots of primate species can do. Oh, hi Binti! Binti's down here, one of our famous gorillas. She's an incredible animal. We do some really fantastic training with these animals. A lot of voluntary behaviors that allow us to take really good care of them. Like a lot of animals, they will get on a scale to allow us to get weight. We can look at different body parts. They'll show us their arms, their legs, their feet. They'll open up their mouths so we can look inside, checking on the health of their teeth and gums. And of course, they even allow us to do voluntary injections. So if they need one, we can, they'll put their arm up or their hip up to the cage front and allow us to give them that injection. You just saw one of those great displays that gorillas are known for, is that kind of chest thumping behavior. And Allie is learning how to do that, and she's really cute. She doesn't make all the big noise and fuss that the other animals can, but she's got to try it out and build up her skill set. Hello guys. All right. Well, I'm glad we had a chance to show you all these great creatures. Sorry for all the little hiccups here and there, but we thought by giving you this kind of choice and an opportunity to see a tour of the zoo, to give you a unique opportunity of seeing the park, but also seeing a wide variety of animals as we bring it to you today. Thank you very much for joining us each and every day. It's been my pleasure to host this one. Again, if you feel like you want to support the zoo, please go to our website. There's plenty of opportunities, especially the adoption program I talked about. But we look forward to seeing you as soon as we can, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I think Dolphins is next, so 11 a.m. tomorrow. You're going to go. I actually worked at the Dolphin building for almost 20 years, so it's a great place to go. Have a great day, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.